Dynamic, articulate, perceptive, courageous, outspoken.
Welcome back to the dojo. I got another reaction for you guys. This time, multiplayer gaming is dead. Thanks for ruining it. Video by Lord Frogmire. Reminds me of Quagmire. I mean, Lord Farquaad. Lord Farquaad. I don't know why Frogmire's reminded me of Quagmire from Family Guy and Lord Farquaad. But whatever. Let's get into this video because I want to gain an understanding of why multiplayer gaming is dead. I have an idea because I've been playing a lot of multiplayer games throughout my life. And it's this thing called the meta where everybody gets into a rhythm of a certain play style which seems to be the best. But there's always fringe off meta strategies that can trump some of the meta outliers. But yeah, let's go ahead and full screen this because I think that might be a good idea. And let's see what he's talking about.
When was the last great multiplayer game released? And actually scratch that, great is asking for too much. When's the last multiplayer game released that people are still playing and want to play? Fortnite, probably? In 2017, 8 years ago? They don't make good multiplayer games anymore, and I don't think they ever will. I just don't think there's room for it. It doesn't matter if you spend $100 million, just look at Concord, a complete failure with infinite money and infinite time.
Concord failed so hard. I looked at the game. I took one look. I said, I don't want to play that. Now Overwatch looks nice. Call of Duty looks nice. There was a new game that came out, Helldivers and all that other stuff. All those games look nice, but Concord just looks like straight trash. And that's probably the main reason why it failed, because you want to play something that's visually appealing. People are so hard pressed about graphics and stuff. Me personally, I think graphics is secondary. I put gameplay as the primary driving force of why I'm indulging in this game. It's not really so much, oh my god, it looks so real. No, I don't particularly care. Gameplay is what I put at the top of the list. But yeah, let's listen to what he's talking about.
Overwatch 2, a complete failure with infinite money, infinite time, and a massive player base to work off of. Multiplayer games now are designed to take up infinite time. So if you found even one that you like, you will never need to play a new multiplayer game ever again. And this doesn't mean that they're good. In fact, I actually think they're bad. They're intentionally made bad to take up infinite time so that they never have to compete with another game again. Just think back to the last game you played. How much time did you actually spend playing the game?
The last game I played was Hearthstone. Last game I played was Hearthstone. I played a good bit of that. I even got a couple videos on my channel dealing with Hearthstone. I played it for about a good 2 hours because I was playing with a friend. Now, you talking about standard ladder and all that? I kind of like stopped playing because I don't like the way the meta is. I don't like the direction the developers are going. Like, the game is kind of like shit to me right now. But when I first started playing, I loved it. I would spend hours on end playing that game. But I already got legend rank in the game, so there's really no point in me grinding or anything like that. I've been playing wild more so than standard lately, and I understand the sentiment of wild players. Wild is just everything. You can do anything in wild, and in standard you're limited to a couple of things. But as far as the last game I played, yeah, that was the last game I played, Hearthstone, and I enjoyed it because I was playing with a friend.
Back in the day, all you had to do was turn on the game, and within 30 seconds you were playing. Now it's you wait for matchmaking, which could be 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 30 seconds in games that literally don't give a fuck. Then you're waiting for players to load in, waiting for yourself to load in. Then you have to wait for the match to start, which in MOBAs is 5 to 10 minutes. In a battle royale, it could be 30 minutes before you even see a single player. Probably the best of the best are games like Overwatch or TF2, which still have a 1 to 2 minute setup time. All of that to just gamble on having a good game. And if you fail that gamble and your teammates are shit, or you're just having a bad game, then you get to start it all over again, straight back to the matchmaking screen. And all of this downtime is completely intentional. You cannot play a game all day. Some psychos can, but the normie definitely cannot play a game all day. But you can play for maybe 30 minutes to an hour at a time with a ton of downtime in between. Time spent looking at your phone, looking at the other monitor, for fatties to eat their candy bars, a snack in between every game. See, people think games have to compete with all media. That might be true for single player games, but it's not true for multiplayer games. They're designed to be consumed alongside other media. All of this downtime is actually a benefit. So rather than competing with YouTube, you get to watch YouTube in between matches, or even during for some people. It may sound great if your dopamine receptors are fried, but I play games because I actually like them. I want to play the game. And all of this pointless waiting is in service to the skill-based matchmaking system. How a skill-based matchmaking system works is you are given a number value called your MMR. And this number is supposed to determine how skilled you are at the game. Either this value starts at 0, or you are given placement matches that lets you jump the queue.
MMR. I'd like to say a little bit about MMR since I played Hearthstone a lot and I was just talking about it. MMR, right? In Hearthstone, you have MMR, and the higher your MMR, the more skilled players you'll come to find. And like, once I reached legend rank and I stopped grinding, when I got sent all the way back down to bronze because I wasn't playing in like weeks or whatever, I was still getting matched with legend players when I was in bronze because my MMR is so high. So if you don't keep grinding on your MMR, you're going to drop rank and still have to play against your MMR. So it kind of forces you into keep playing. You know what I mean? It really forces you into keep playing because the climb is going to be harder the more skilled you have become. It makes it harder the more skilled you become if you don't keep grinding. And I'm like, man, once I already beat the game, there's no point in still trying to beat the game a second and third time. So MMR, I understand it, but it's starting to be like a way that the game kind of loses enjoyment because it's not fun when you have to constantly grind and grind and grind. You know what I mean? It takes the fun out of the game when you have to work, and grinding is work. You're just working at the game. Work. Instead of playing, you're just working.
Then, every time you win a match, this number goes up. And every time you lose a match, this number goes down. Sometimes individual performance is taken into account, usually not for more complex games, because it's hard to determine how well you actually did. If you're thinking of a MOBA, the support is never going to have a lot of kills or a lot of damage, but they might be the reason the game is won. They might have been carrying the entire time by helping their teammates get kills or do damage. So, for the most part, your skill is directly determined by whether you win or lose and nothing else. This is obviously bullshit. These are team-based games. Your team can determine whether you win or lose, and no matter how good you are, there's nothing you can do about it. Unless you are literally a fucking god, even professional players will lose because their teammates are just so dog shit. Assuming MMR works perfectly, and you actually can get a player's skill down to a single number, which we all know is bullshit, but assuming it's possible, it still does not function in balancing games, because you have to average people's MMRs together. Unless the game has 10 billion players, which we know isn't possible, you can never match someone up with someone of their exact MMR. The problem is averaging doesn't work. You put one skilled player with a bunch of future scholars and hope that's a fair game between a bunch of people who are okay at the game. If you imagine a soccer match with a Messi on one side, full of a bunch of mentally children who are trying to eat his shoes, he's not going to beat the high school team of soccer players. It's just not going to happen. The problem is made significantly worse by the fact that there are much more players who are of average skill level. level. That means the shitters and the best players are the ones who have the most trouble finding players of similar skill levels, which means that they're the ones put together. So you're more likely to have a match with a couple good people and a bunch of shitters than you are to have a good person with some average players, because the system simply can't average them out. So simply...
Okay, one thing I want to say, I'm enjoying this guy's video because he's saying stuff, he's breaking it down, and giving you examples. A lot of the videos that I've been reacting to lately, when it comes to gaming, they're not really breaking it down or giving you examples. They're just shooting off at the mouth and saying how they feel about it without really helping somebody from the outside looking in understand what's really going on. This guy's doing it, and I can appreciate that.
By a rule of large numbers, skill-based matchmaking, if you're good enough, you are going to get shittier games. And if you are bad enough, you are going to get shittier games. This forces people to try hard. Everyone knows this. They know it intuitively, that if I lose a match, I'm going to get shittier teammates next time, or I'm going...
I really hate that about gaming. It's like the sweaty tryhards, they really ruin the experience, and that's what this video is about. Thanks for ruining multiplayer gaming. So people who are sweaty, I gotta win, doing everything in their power, using the best players, using the best characters, the best decks, the best strategies, the best everything. It just ruins the experience, because instead of having a good time, instead of having fun, we're all just grinding to get to a certain rank or level. It really does ruin the fun.
Going to have a worse game next time. So people stop having fun. They stop trying to have fun. They stop doing silly things, get 360 no scope, try to make a stupid kill compilation. They stop doing it. They try hard as they can, because they know if they fuck up, if they don't do their best, they are going to have worse games and their hobby will be ruined. And I know some glue-eating Zoomer is going to say get good, but that doesn't help. In fact, it could make it worse. The better you are, the more likely you are to get a shit match. You have to be in the average. It's the noobs and the gods who get screwed. So getting good only helps if you're already at the bottom. If you're already good, getting good only makes it worse. Remember, these games are meant to be played all of the time. So if you spend 6 hours a day doing something, 2 hours a day, even 1 hour, if that's all of your free time is 1 hour a day of playing a game, and now all of your free time is ruined because you fucked up one game or a couple games in a row, you're going to lose their shit, which leads into multiplayer games are far more toxic than they've ever been. It's not...
I can most certainly agree. Multiplayer games are extremely toxic because, like I said earlier, people are all trying to use the best strategies and the best players, so it puts everyone else at a disadvantage who's not using the best stuff. If you're not using the best of the best, you're kind of just SOL, because you're going to get wrecked because you don't have the... It's like you're trying to go into a gunfight with a knife. You know what I mean? The best players are like cannons and machine guns and miniguns, and you've just simply got a knife. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. And some games are pay to win, so people who put money in the game, they get rocket launchers, they get miniguns, they get heat-seeking missiles, they get grenades, and all you have is a freaking knife. It really ruins the experience.
Not close. People talk about you wouldn't survive a Call of Duty lobby back in the day. Those were fine. People just said a couple naughty words. Games are much worse now that you can't call someone what they are, because now pissing off your teammates, or in some games the enemy team, is a literal win condition. The moderation of these games makes the moderation team a weapon you can use against the people you don't like. If your teammate is trolling you and you know they're ruining your game, which will lead to them ruining your hobby, possibly forever. Your MMR might be fucked forever, or for months, or weeks, who knows? They're going to feel like they have the complete right to fuck with you back. And the best way to do that is to intentionally piss you off to the point that you say a slur, or you say something bad. Or if we're talking about League of Legends, you might say GG easy, and then you get permanently banned from the game. This is far more toxic than getting pissed and then calling your teammate a poo-poo head. Instead, people grief the game. In MOBAs, we're talking about stealing other people's buffs or their farm or whatever. In first-person shooters, you can just stand in front of people's sight lines or feed intentionally, and all it takes is for one slip-up.
Spawn camping in shooter games, I really hate spawn camping. That's the worst. It's like as soon as somebody respawns in, they getting shot to death. So it's like Oh man, it's the worst. That's what I mean by the best strategies and stuff. It's like you have no chance. Like you're gonna spawn in a particular area because most of the other players on the opposite side of the board. So you got somebody scoping out or sniping like the camp area, the respawn area, and it's like, man, what do you do? Like, what do you do when people start doing stuff like that? You quit playing the game.
One time you will get mad, and it's completely deserved. They are actively harming you. They're not just making it so that you're having less fun with this game. They're ruining your future games also, because your MMR will be lower when you lose this game. And all it takes is a series of bad luck for you to be put in the shitters queue, where you can no longer find good games. This is completely ignoring, by the way, losing rank and all the self-worth that comes with that, or the rewards or whatever. Imagine if you're playing soccer and you start losing and your teammate just pops the ball. That's the equivalent. It's not just that you lose this one game, it's that you are inhibited from playing further. League of Legends is by far the most moderated online game. It's not even close. And it's the most toxic online game of all time. The moderation and the toxicity go hand in hand.
Well, I'm glad I'm not a League of Legends player, because that's all I've heard about the game. The player base is so toxic, and like you gotta put so many hours in the game just to be good at the game. Like, I like to pick up something and get a fair understanding of the game so I can invest more time in it to get better. I hate when I have to like learn manuals and learn strategies just to play the game. I like to figure strategies out myself. You know what I mean? I feel exactly what this guy's talking about.
Just say naughty words, they would just call you the N-word and move on. But because they feel like you are actively harming them and they can do nothing about it, they can't say anything, they will try to actively harm you. Okay, but why do people care about winning at all? Does it really matter? Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, yes. In any other game, no, it doesn't matter at all. But in multiplayer games, it is required to try hard just to have fun. Unfortunately, it is not fun to get completely dominated, to be able to do nothing. You still have to be able to play the game to have fun. At a certain point, if people are better than you enough, they can make it so you can't play the game at all. And if you are bad enough, you get fucked hard enough by the MMR, it cannot make balanced games for you anymore. And you will be forced to play against people who can ruin the game for you. And that could be teammates who are so bad that you're fighting 1v10 and you literally can't do anything. Or the enemy team has one sweat on it who's just so good that he completely destroys you. All because you couldn't make it into that middle section of average players. And the problem is it only takes one loss to get fucked and to get sent down into the shit queue. Anyone who's played a multiplayer game knows that a loser queue exists, where you keep losing games over and over and over. Maybe you start with one good game. It's match-maked perfectly, or maybe even on your side, where your team is clearly better than theirs. So you decide to screw around and have fun. You know, have fun in a video game that's supposed to be fun. And so you lose. Now, the next time, the game thinks you're bad now, so it puts you with shittier players, which you should be able to dominate. But then, maybe on the enemy team, where it should be all shitters, you have one person who's smurfing. Or maybe he's not smurfing, maybe it's just a player who still has to make it to where he's supposed to be. Because these MMRs, it's just a number that goes up. The system doesn't know that this guy who's won 5 games in a row is about to win 100 games in a row. It doesn't know that yet. So you then lose this game in a row. And at this point, the spiral begins where your MMR is low enough that it can't make fair matches at all anymore. And you just have to hope you get lucky, where you get on the team that's clearly unbalanced in your favor, just to make it back to the point where you're allowed to have fun again. I literally only played 2 games of ranked today in Smite. And after only 2 games, I get put in a game where I am a diamond player with a gold player on my team. Gold is 2 ranks below diamond, and he's at the very bottom of gold. In this context, gold is basically like you are completely dog shit at the game. You cannot do anything. And he's been put up against other diamond players. He got completely destroyed and complained the entire match.
Literally, he already used ult, and he has it again. This guy's ult cooldown is fucking insane. Can I just give up now? This game's not going anywhere.
He didn't have fun. There's no way he could have fun. I was 11-3, destroying them. I could not carry him. We still lost. He was 0-7. There's nothing you can do. Unfortunately, if you're that bad, the game just can't match you up with other good players. Or maybe I'm too high. I don't think that's true. I don't think Diamond's very high. I think it's far more likely that he's just too bad. But it's funny that the system works in the other way too, where if you're too good at the game, you also can't find good matches anymore because there aren't enough good players. And this is completely ignoring the fact that people also attach their self-worth to their rank or their MMR because they have to know that they're better than their friends or better than other people. This game with this gold player, before I had to tell him that he was in an unbalanced match, the entire time he complained that there's nothing I can do, that my team's just not helping me enough, that I'm totally good enough, guys. I'm totally good enough to be in this game. It's my teammates' fault that I'm doing bad. And then as soon as I tell him, no, dude, it's not your fault. You're just put into a higher level game and you're not good enough yet. And now, so much relief, immediately relief from this dude. He's like, oh, okay, now the game's fucking me. My team didn't fuck me. I'm still good. I'm still good, guys. I'm just not where I'm supposed to be yet. It's bullshit. You're shit at the game. Who fucking cares? It doesn't fucking matter. It's supposed to be fun. How good you are does not matter. No one's making money off this shit. It's 0.0001% of players get anything compared to all the fucking shitters try-harding for no fucking reason. You get nothing. You're a fucking loser. But you have to. You have to try hard because people want good games. They really do. They want a balanced match. Supposedly, at least, because there used to be a system that only made good games. There used to be a system where you could have a balanced match all of the time. It was called auto balance in the greatest game ever made, Team Fortress 2. How auto balance in Team Fortress 2 worked is that if one side was winning too hard, it would put the best player on the enemy team and put him on the losing team, or the second best, or whatever.
Okay, that definitely seems great. Auto, what did he say? Auto what?
Auto balance in the
auto balance. Auto balance. That just sounds ingenious. So whatever happened to auto balance in all of the other games? Why don't we get auto balance so we can actually enjoy the game? That's what I hate about games nowadays. They don't let you have fun. Like you're forced into a particular play pattern because of the way the game is set up. Like they intentionally make games to be grinds instead of fun. Games are supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to be work. You play games to get away from work.
Team and put him on the losing team, or the second best, or whatever. And you just keep doing that over time, and eventually the two teams are balanced and it will stop auto balancing people. And it takes 10 minutes, 20 minutes. There'll even be a couple lost games in between, but it didn't matter because there was no MMR. So no one gave a fuck that you lost a game or two. No one cared that it took 10 minutes to get a good game. It takes 10 minutes just to wait for the fucking matchmaking system now. 10 minutes isn't that long when you're still playing the game. You're still having fun. In fact, people would do it on purpose. You could switch teams at any time. So people, if they were winning too hard, would intentionally go to the losing team just to prove that they're so good that they can carry both teams. But that can't exist now, because then you couldn't have a number, and you also couldn't have what actually matters, because skill-based matchmaking is bullshit. It doesn't exist. Everyone uses engagement-based matchmaking, because skill isn't a metric that's easy to measure. Engagement is. How long someone plays a game is the easiest thing in the world to fucking measure. So why would you not matchmake for that instead? So what's engagement-based matchmaking? How is that different from skill? It still uses MMR. It still calculates your skill. Instead, what it matchmakes for is to make sure every player has a 50% win rate.
Going on a losing streak, I think, is something we see correlated more often. Like basically, like you just get tilted off the face of the planet because you lose and you keep losing and you can't win and you're like, F this game, I'm never coming back, right? Like that's the thing that happens the most often, I would say. And that is something that certain games actually matchmake around. Like some other games, which shall remain nameless, do not actually matchmake you so that each match is as close to an even match as they can make. Instead, they matchmake so that you will skew towards a 50% win rate as much as possible. So like,
I hate that. Hearthstone does that. Hearthstone literally does that. And the skewing up, you can call me a conspiracy theorist if you want. they literally screw your deck. Like, even when you would win the match, like, you have all the answers in your deck somewhere, it's like the game literally shuffles your deck so that you don't draw any of the cards that you need when you need them. So you end up using resources, making bad plays to get your hand space correct because you got too many cards in your hand. Your opponent hasn't done anything for you to react to. And your cards, like certain cards, you need something to be on the board to use it. And it's like, I'm being skewed to a 50% win rate. Even though I know I'm better than this, it literally controls the cards that I get so I can't win. I know I'm not tripping. If you've ever played Hearthstone and you've experienced that up and down undulating rating, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because the game wants everybody to be at 50%. Oh, you win a couple games? Okay, now we're going to give you somebody who's a really good player with a really good deck, and we're going to skew your deck so that you do not win. I hate it.
If you are losing a lot, they will give you an easy game.
But that's the general idea.
See, if you're losing a lot, they'll give you an easy game. So if you're winning a lot, what you think they're going to do? If you're winning a lot, they're going to start to skew your win rate.
Because players will play more if they have a 50% win rate. I remember years ago, Overwatch used to do like TED Talk mini like update things. And they said, players do not differentiate between a stomp and a close game. All they care about is if they won or lost. And I think this is normie shit, but I believe it. It's 100% true from normies. I've heard it a million times. Some guy in Smite will be like, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you playing this guy? And I'm like, it's a casual match. I don't care. I'm having fun. And he's like, it's fun to win. It's fun to win. If all that's fun is winning, go beat up a fucking kindergartner. It's pretty fucking easy. You'll win.
God, that's violent, bro. Don't get so emotional about what somebody said. That's too much, bro. That's too much. Oh, man, you're letting your psycho show. Don't do that.
If all that's fun is winning, go beat up a fucking kindergartner. It's pretty fucking easy. You'll win every time. And what makes engagement-based matchmaking so effective and so sinister is you just have to think, why does skill-based matchmaking even exist? Like, what? And I don't mean how it makes money or anything. I mean, what is the goal of the system? The goal of the system is to get you to a point where you have a 50% win rate. Because if you're playing against players of an equal skill level to you, it should be a 50-50 if you win or not. Why try and get skill-based matchmaking perfect when instead you can just artificially make the win rate 50-50 and it operates exactly like a perfectly functioning skill-based matchmaking system, especially when players can't even differentiate between a stomp or not. So instead, what it does is it purposely takes a bunch of good players who have just lost a game and takes a bunch of bad players who just won a game and puts them against each other. Call of Duty literally released a report on their matchmaking system, and it had an 80% success rate at being able to determine who wins and loses a match. That is obviously not skill-based matchmaking, because as I said before, a good skill-based matchmaking should have a 50% chance of each side winning. If you can determine who's gonna win, it means you know it's unbalanced. All right, on an intuitive level, most people aren't stupid. So they know the system is fucked. They know they are getting fucked in some way. So how do they get back? Now, some people just get toxic and they'll fuck with their teammates and they'll just get mad. And other people cheat. They'll cheat. And we all know it's happening all of the time. I know some measurements, who knows, maybe they're bullshit. It was some AI company said that in an FPS game, 1/3 of all people are cheating. That seems too high to me, but maybe it's true. TF2 is probably true when almost every player was a cheating bot. And we know it's found at literally all levels of play. We have people competing in $1 million tournaments, cheating, known to be cheating, getting caught cheating. And
That's crazy. You enter a tournament with money on the line and you gonna cheat. That's what this is all about. It's like people really put winning above all else. It's not about getting better. It's not about enjoying the game. We just have to win. And the whole title of this video, Multiplayer Gaming is Dead, thanks for ruining it, it really encapsulates what he's saying. He titled this video perfectly because everything he's saying I feel, I've experienced. And yeah, multiplayer gaming is really not fun anymore, man. It just becomes a chore to play the game when you can't enjoy it. You want to play the game because you want to enjoy it. But the more you grind, the more you have to get your win rate up, the more you have to adopt the best strategies. You're not playing your game, you're playing somebody else's game, the way they wanted to play it. And it's like, when player agency is out the window, we just become bots, really. We really just become bots because we're trying to emulate a play style or archetype of a play style that's already been proven to work, instead of experimenting and trying new things. And we get into this vicious cycle of learn a new strategy comes out, everybody adopts that strategy becomes overdone, then a new strategy comes out, or new players or new strategies or new weapons or new stuff gets released into the game. Then it all starts all over again. It devolves into the same thing. It's just a vicious cycle. Also need a second. I'll be back in a moment. You won't even realize I'm gone. Okay, I took me a little break and I'm back. I'm ready to continue the reaction. Go ahead, Lord Frogmare, take it away.
Anyone who's played at the low ranks know they've either had a cheater on their team or the enemy team. I was playing in Silver 2 Counter-Strike. This is the second lowest rank in the game, and my teammate was cheating. I had to ask him, what are you doing? We're all shit at the game. It's just fun, man. It's just fun to cheat. Sure. No, it's you don't want to feel bad because you're bad. And games force you. Now they force you to know that you're bad. Believe it or not, back in the day, games were more protective of your ego. Even with completely unfiltered chats and people calling you dog shit, they were more protective of your ego because you didn't have to care. If you won or lost, it literally meant nothing. There was no MMR, there was no rank, there were no fucking rewards for doing well. You literally just played to have fun. So, if someone called you bad, you just said, I'm just having fun, and it was true. You meant it. Now, if you say that, everyone knows you're lying because no one plays for fun anymore. Because if you play for fun, you'd be at the bottom rank, getting shit game after shit game, and everyone knows you're not having fun if you're getting shit game after shit game. Some cheaters are just messing around. They know they're trolling, but I don't think that's most of them. I think most cheaters don't think they're doing anything wrong at all. They think they are achieving the rank they deserve anyway. They know the system is flawed. They know they are getting fucked and that this is their only way to attack back.
My question is, why do people cheat? Why do you cheat? What's the point of cheating? What is the point of cheating? We're playing a game. I mean, I can understand cheating in life because you're really trying to get ahead and you want to skip brackets and all that. But what is the point of cheating in a game that's designed to have fun? Even if we're not having fun, we're just grinding. Why cheat? Why cheat? I don't get it.
They cheat to get the rank they think they deserve, which they don't. Because the reality is, if you're good enough, you can carry your entire team by yourself. But people cannot accept that because they want to think the world is fair. They want fair games. And so if they're not getting fair games, they know they're getting screwed over. So they cheat. And let's talk about ranked. Let's just call ranked what it is, which is just free content. It's empty content. They don't have to make new stuff and it gives you something to do. That's all it is. For players, it's a big deal because it's telling everyone how good you are at the game. But the reality is, even for players, it's just something to do. Because if it wasn't for a ranked mode, most of these games would have nothing to do. The one exception is like Fortnite that has enough money to just constantly put bullshit in the game all of the time. So you don't need like this fake content stream. All of this effort, all of this anger, all of this bullshit just to get to the top rank. And I've been to the top rank of multiple games. All that happens is you get to the top rank and you're like, what do I do? I don't know what to do anymore. Maybe you can compete to be like number 1 or something, but no one gives a fuck about that because there are no more rewards at that point for most things. So you just stop playing until the rank resets. Great. So much fun. And rewards. That's what this is all about. Rewards. And we can finally talk about monetization because all of this is in service to monetization. To be honest, for the most part, I don't really care about how these games are monetized. because I'm not a communist. I'm not a silly Billy. I don't care if they extract every dollar from mental people with no self-control. I don't fucking care. I'm not doing it. So who cares? But they make the games bad on purpose to service the monetization system. Because the games are gambling. They want gambling addicts. All this shit I told you about MMR and bad games and cheaters, it makes the game more random. You take a game that's entirely skill-based, like Counter-Strike or whatever, blah, 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 Smite, and you make it random because your teammates are random, and they might be complete dog shit, or they might be really good. I mean, there are people who are literally toxic. They're like toxic to the ranked things, or they're poison. They make their team lose almost every time, and yet are still super high rank because they just get lucky. They get good teammates every time, and they shoot up the ranks, getting carried every single game. I've seen it before. We've all seen it before. Someone who you're like, how the fuck are they this ranked? And it's because they got carried all the way to the top, and it's just luck. And some people love it, or even if they hate it, they're addicted to it. And those who can't stand it, they don't care about you because they want gamblers. Because want to know what sells the most out of fucking anything? Are loot boxes. It's
Oh my God, loot boxes. Playing Russian roulette with your money, man. It's like a lot of times these loot boxes, they'll have like a 1 in a million chance to get the thing that you want. So it just promotes you to just keep buying and keep buying and keep fishing for what you're looking for. You get a whole bunch of shit you don't want at all, and then maybe you got a better chance of getting struck by lightning. Maybe that one little bit of chance you might get it. I hate that. Digital products can be sold infinitely, but you're making this digital product so hard to find or so hard to obtain. So I spend thousands of dollars trying to get this thing. Oh, loot boxes. The bane of my existence.
gambling. So if every person who hates gambling left the game, they don't give a fuck. You don't matter. The only exception being Fortnite. Maybe. They don't. They have more of a rotating shop. But that game has its own bullshit. Not that I care. Because Battle Royales are dog shit. I'm not going to play them. I'm not wasting an hour doing nothing just to fight one guy, maybe, or lose that fight, and great. I got to waste my whole hour just to die instantly. Yeah, that was fun. I don't even know what my point is anymore. I think my point is that nothing's fun anymore. Things aren't supposed to be fun. Single player games are all this story shit where you're supposed to feel bad for existing. Just look at The Last of Us 2. They kill everyone's favorite character just to tell you revenge is bad. And everyone's second favorite character is now like deformed and has no one to love. Yeah, that's great. Most games are like 90% cutscene. And it's like, okay, let me escape to multiplayer games. They can't have cutscenes. It has to be all gameplay, right? Wrong. There's no fucking gameplay in multiplayer games anymore. Half of it's fucking waiting, and the other half is gambling on a good fucking team. There is no playing the game anymore. That part doesn't matter. So instead, you spend half of it waiting for a game, 45% buying random shit, and then 5% playing the game. I hate it, man. I just want to have fun. Is that absurd? People think that it's absurd? Fuck it. As my final message, next time you play a multiplayer game, troll your teammates. Just do it on purpose. You deserve to suffer for playing these shit games. I think I deserve everything bad that has happened to the people who play multiplayer games, me included. Every bad teammate I've ever gotten, I deserve. Because buying into these systems is the problem. Everything was perfect back when people just hosted their own server. You joined it, you played for a little bit, you killed some people, you gone. Maybe you made some friends. That used to happen. Oh, fuck, that's what I should have talked about. Dude, do you remember when you can make friends in a game? How it used to work is you had...
Oh my God, I used to play so much online games. I used to get so many people like, man, I enjoy playing you. I enjoy playing you because you make it fun. Like, you're not trying to just be sweaty. You're not trying to just do all the best stuff. You're using your own stuff, things I've never seen before. And bro, I enjoy sparring with you because I play a lot of fighting games. I played a lot of Street Fighter in my day. Played a lot of good bit of Mortal Kombat. Played a lot of Smash Bros. A whole lot of Smash Bros. Online, and I usually get respect from my playstyle. I don't get that anymore because everybody's playing meta. Everybody's doing the meta thing. Whatever is deemed to be the best, everybody's doing it. And now you can't make friends because people are just, oh, you're just using that stupid meta strategy. Go. And then they start flinging insults because they're mad that they lost to another meta staple. And it's like, we can't have nice things.
At a server, and you would just play on the server with all of the same people until you were bored, and then you stopped playing. Now how it works is you do a match and it's over. You never see those people ever again. You never talk to them, nothing. There's no reason to make friends in video games anymore. God damn, games used to be social. You used to be able to fuck around with people. I made some of my best friends playing Team Fortress 2 because you'd play on the same server every day for hours, so you have to make friends. That's just how humans work. If you interact with people for a certain amount of time, you just make friends. And games are intentionally designed so you can't make friends anymore. If you want to talk about enhancing toxicity, it's a lot easier to fuck with people and be mean to people if you know you're never going to see them again. Before, if you had a real community, you didn't want to piss off the community because then you wouldn't be allowed on that server anymore. Or even if you're allowed, people would be mean to you. They wouldn't be nice to you. Now it's, who cares? It's extremely common now. Literally, you just wait to the very end of the game so you don't accidentally like make your teammates play bad on purpose. So you wait to the very end of the game and then you just hit them with a million slurs or you call them dog shit or whatever, and then you'll never see them ever again. It's like sucker punching someone in the back of the head in a city. They'll never know. There'll never be any repercussions. Games are intentionally designed now to not have communities. And it's sad. So is multiplayer gaming dead? No, obviously not. It's probably bigger than it's ever been, but it's not fun, and it probably will never be fun again. The closest thing to fun now is you can play a battle royale. Most of those don't have a ranked mode, but the problem is those are shit. I don't like them. I miss old games where you got to play them like all of the time, not hours of doing nothing while you search for fucking item. I think the thesis of basically every video on how gaming is dying is just games aren't made for us anymore. The people who like fun games and who actually care about the medium, we will never have games made for us ever again. Sad. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
Okay. I like this video. I enjoyed this video. He broke down everything he talked about. He gave us real world examples. He was quite emotional in most of it, but I could feel the emotion. I understand the sentiment. I've lived the experience playing multiplayer games, and I'm just kind of done. I'm with him. Like, even though multiplayer games are still alive and well and people are still playing them, the fun is dead. There's no more fun to be had. And because there's no more fun to be had, I just find myself not really wanting to play games at all. I'm just gonna play the game called life. You know what I mean? Because video games are starting to become very, very, very unfun. Well, that's pretty much it for this. You know, Professor Hawk signing out. Hawk Sensei bids you adieu. I hope you enjoyed this reaction, guys. Toodaloo.